You're about to learn something most men will never admit, even to themselves. Because the truth is, when a man says he's fine without you, that's usually the moment he's thinking about you the most. Not texting you. Not calling you. But lying awake at night, replaying everything, wondering where he lost you. And here's what almost every woman gets wrong. They think making a man miss them is about doing more texting, more explaining, more proving your worth. But the reality? The deeper a man feels you slipping away, the louder your absence becomes in his mind. And there are specific psychological triggers, silent, invisible shifts, that can make him go from emotionally distant, to completely consumed by the thought of you. I'm not talking about, he kinda misses you. I'm talking about the kind of missing that hits him randomly, in the gym, in the car, in the middle of a conversation. The kind that makes him question his decisions, his ego, even his identity. And the craziest part? You don't have to chase him, convince him, or compete for his attention. Once you understand these triggers, he does all of that in his own mind. Let's break down exactly how it works. That if you have ever wanted a man to miss you so deeply that he feels it in his marrow, the kind of longing that makes him stare at his phone like it's a ticking time bomb, you are in the right place. Most women try to win a man back by filling the space between them. They send that one last long text, they post a specific photo to get his attention, or they try to rationally explain why they were good together. But here is the psychological secret that men will take to their graves. Men do not fall in love or realize your value when you are in their face. They realize it in the void you leave behind. To a man, your presence is a comfort, but your absence is a crisis. And today, I am going to show you how to manufacture that crisis so effectively that his ego, his heart, and his logic all crumble at once. That we have to start with the concept of detachment shock. This is the moment the Wi-Fi signal of your energy completely cuts out. See, men are wired to be hunters, but they are also incredibly prone to taking their prey for granted once the chase is over. He has become accustomed to your warmth. He is used to the fact that if he reaches out, you'll be there. If he pulls away, you'll chase. This gives him a false sense of security. It allows his ego to stay comfortably asleep because he believes he owns your emotional attention. Detachment shock is the ice-cold bucket of water that wakes him up. It happens when you stop the emotional maintenance of the relationship. No more checking in. No more asking, where do we stand? No more, hope you're having a good day. When you go from being a constant source of warmth to a wall of calm, graceful silence, his brain experiences a literal chemical withdrawal. He expects you to be mad, or sad, or loud. But when you are simply gone, that is when the panic begins. Silence is the only language a man cannot argue with. He can argue with your anger. He can dismiss your tears. But he has no defense against your absence because it leaves him alone with the one person he fears most, himself. This leads us directly into the losing you paradox. You see, a man's ego is a fragile thing, built on the illusion of control. He thinks he's the one deciding the pace of the relationship. He thinks he's the one who decided things were fine, or that he needed space. But the moment he senses that you are no longer waiting for him to make a move, the moment he realizes you have emotionally checked out and are moving toward a life that doesn't include him, the power dynamic flips. Suddenly, the space he asked for feels like a prison. He didn't want to lose you, he just wanted to see if he could survive without you while still keeping you as an option. The paradox is that he will only value your presence when he is absolutely convinced that your absence is permanent. This is why low contact or no contact works so well, but only if it's done with peace instead of bitterness. If you're silent because you're trying to make him miss you, he can feel that energy. It feels like a game. But if you're silent because you are genuinely focused on your own soul, your own life, and your own value, that is a vibration he can feel from miles away. It smells like a woman who has remembered who she is. And there is nothing more terrifying to a man than a woman who remembers she doesn't need him. Now, let's talk about the haunting phase, emotional echoing. While he's trying to be unbothered, his brain is actually working against him. Men are highly visual, but they are also deeply anchored by sensory triggers. When you are together, you leave emotional fingerprints all over his life. It's the way your perfume lingered on his car seat. It's the specific way you laughed at his jokes that no one else found funny. It's the way you looked in the morning before the world got to you. These are the echoes. When you pull away and stop providing new memories, the old memories start to play on a loop. At first, he'll try to drown them out. He'll go to the gym, he'll hang out with his friends, he'll work late. But eventually, the sun goes down. He gets into his bed, the room goes quiet, and the echoes start to scream. He'll remember a random Tuesday night when you were both just eating pizza on the couch, and suddenly, that memory will hit him like a physical blow to the chest. He'll realize that those small moments were actually the big moments. Your silence forces him to replay the highlights of your relationship, and because you aren't there to provide a current version of yourself, the past version of you becomes a goddess in his mind. He begins to romanticize everything he once took for granted. This brings us to the most painful trigger of all, identity distortion and the "was I the problem?" spiral. Most men walk through life believing they are the good guy. Their ego depends on it. When a high-value woman, a woman who was loyal, kind, and supportive, finally walks away and stays away, it forces the man to look in the mirror. He starts to ask questions he isn't prepared to answer. If she was so great, and she's gone, does that mean I'm the one who failed? This is where the true emotional breakdown happens. He starts to analyze every time he was cold, every time he prioritized his friends over you, every time he let your call go to voicemail. Your absence acts as a judge and jury. Without you there to comfort him or tell him it's okay, he has to sit in the discomfort of his own inadequacy. This is the stage where men often start breadcrumbing, sending those "hey" or "thinking of you" texts. These aren't signs of love yet, they are tests to see if he can still soothe his own ego. If you respond immediately, you stop the spiral. You give him his "good guy" badge back. But if you remain detached, the spiral continues until his ego completely collapses. He realizes he didn't just lose a girlfriend, he lost the best version of himself that only existed when he was with you. Then comes replacement anxiety, the primal fear that another man will step into the garden he forgot to water. Men are naturally competitive, even if they pretend they aren't. As soon as he sees, or even imagines, that you are happy, glowing, and being pursued by others, his possessiveness kicks in. He doesn't even have to see you with another man. He just has to see you without him. If your Instagram shows you at dinner with friends, looking incredible, laughing, and living a life of abundance, his mind will fill in the blanks. He will imagine that every man in that room is looking at you. He will imagine that you've already found someone who treats you the way he should have. This replacement fantasy is his emotional death sentence. It creates a sense of urgency that no amount of begging or pleading from you could ever achieve. Suddenly, the space he wanted feels like a gap he needs to close immediately before someone else moves in. He starts to feel the weight of his replacement. He realizes that you are a prize, and he just handed that prize to the rest of the world on a silver platter. The final stage is the emotional collapse. This is when the Victorian widow phase truly sets in. It's the moment all the triggers, the silence, the regret, the echoes, the fear, all converge into one single realization: you are irreplaceable. He realizes that he can find another pretty girl, he can find another fun girl, but he will never find another you. He misses the specific soul connection that he threw away because he was too arrogant to cherish it. This is where the tears come from. They aren't just tears for you, they are tears of mourning for the man he was when he had you. He realizes he has traded a diamond for a handful of gravel. That dam finally breaks, usually triggered by something small, a song on the radio, a smell in the air, or seeing your name on an old piece of mail. The reality of "never again" finally sinks in. And that, my dear, is how you make a man feel the full, unadulterated weight of your worth, but you have to do this right. You cannot fake this. If you are sitting by the phone counting the minutes of your detachment, you aren't detached, you're just performing. To truly trigger this level of missing, you have to actually step back into your own power. You have to become the woman who is okay with or without him. You have to invest in your own growth, your own joy, and your own peace. You have to let the silence be your power, not your weapon. When he reaches out with those weak, low-effort messages, you must have the strength not to crumble. Let him feel the weight of the bridge he burned. Let him earn his way back into your presence, because if you let him back in too easily, he will never learn the lesson, and the cycle will just repeat. High-value women don't chase, they attract. They don't explain, they embody. They don't beg, they choose that. If you are ready to stop being the one who waits and start being the one who is wanted, you have to commit to this shift. Stop wondering what he's thinking and start making him wonder what you're doing. Stop trying to fix him and start elevating yourself. When you stand in your value, the world, and that man, will have no choice but to take notice. The power has always been in your hands, you just had to be brave enough to stop using it to hold on to him and start using it to hold on to yourself. He will miss you when he realizes that the version of you he took for granted no longer exists, because you've evolved into someone even better. Someone he no longer has access to. If you found this helpful and you're ready to reclaim your power and learn the deep secrets of attraction and high-value living, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are diving deep into the psychology of love and self-worth every single week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever experienced the power of silence? Let's talk about it. Remember, you are the prize. Act accordingly. See you in the next one.